Hey guys, Tarek Merryface here, and welcome to Chronicles of the Flight Instructor. A long break from videos and a new flatmate that I'll introduce you in a second. Students are doing well, but the weather gets in the way. Today, we won't do any news, an update on this decision. So strap your kneeboards on and plug your headsets in because we're about to start Exercise 12. Hi guys, good to see you again. Sorry I've been away for so long, but we've been really busy. A lot has been going on both at home and at work. The first thing I want to talk about work for is that smoke in the cockpit thing. That was the last video, and a lot happened since then. The aircraft, it turned out, had a faulty carburetor, and I know this because the engine caught fire on the ground. So obviously a fire extinguisher was used. We did call the airport fire services and all that. And the engine was inspected by a mechanic, the carburetor was changed and tested, and everything's good now. But so I'd like to let you know that we had an engine fire on the ground, thankfully. Not me, another instructor. I was there, I saw it happen. I called the fire services. But that's it in terms of that failure. We're flying quite a lot when weather permits it. Unfortunately, weather does get in the way. However, we had 2 relatively good weeks. And hopefully I think today's going to get better again. I'm off to work very soon, so I can't make this video very long. Now, my new flatmate. Asha, come here, puppy. This is my new flatmate. Asha, come here, come here. There she is. Asha, my new dog. She's a crossbreed. We got her from the Dogs Trust. My other half works at the Dogs Trust. And she joined us from there. She's a rescue dog. They found her in the streets, I think it was in Durham, and good girl. And since then, she's been living with us for about a month now, so she's been great, a bit difficult at times. We're a really sweet dog, and very happy to have a dog now in the house, so might feature her every now and again. Now, the news. The reason I decided not to do a news segment every time is because sometimes I don't want to talk about anything that's on the news that's interesting at all. There's one thing though, I have heard rumors that Harrison Ford went flying again and he landed on a taxiway. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll find out more about that. I don't want to speculate at all about what happened there. But let's move on anyways to the feedback, which is what I really want to get into. So in the last video, which is about a month ago, HSenga1 said, "Sounds like maintenance is top notch. Take care, man." As I said, sometimes things happen with airplanes. It's just they're old airplanes. They're well taken care of. It's just when airplanes are old, sometimes they break. So Pakucho. Now Pakucho, I don't know if you remember, he's the one that said he'd go to the London meetup, and he did. And he said, "Hey, I went to the London Flying Club meetup. The guest speakers were rather cool. CAA, GA unit, Cirrus, and the organizer from the club too. Made some friends, might go on a flight out with them next time I go to the UK, which will be in April. Thank you very much for pointing it out. I almost forgot to go, but I had a sim session until shortly before, so I hopped off the tube just in time. Cheers, Pakucho. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really happy you made friends, and that's great that we'll be coming back in the UK to fly with people. That's what I really like to hear." Modular Pilot, another regular commenter, said, "Hey Tarek, have you applied for any airline jobs yet, or are you happy to be a flight instructor for a while?" Well, I am quite happy to be a flight instructor for a while. I will probably try and move on eventually. I didn't want to go into the airlines. I wanted to stay in flight instruction and education. But the more I am in this environment, the more I realize that it's really difficult to work full-time in this because you have to pay for everything. You're self-employed, and the licenses are really expensive. For example, to become a CPL examiner is £6,000, which is, in my opinion, excessive, and that's why there are only a few in the UK. So there you go. Let's move on. CW Spotting says, "Nice video. I have subbed back. Sub back." CW Spotting, I'm afraid I don't work that way. I'll check out your channel. If I like it, I'll subscribe. Alright, David11 says, "Thanks and Happy New Year. Quite an exciting week flying. Just wanted to comment on the cowling opening." Right, I remember this one. "I'd intuitively have kept my airspeed up and wouldn't have slowed down to slow flight. I'm thinking the aerodynamics may have been altered enough to substantially increase stall speed, and an unexpected and unrecognized stall in the traffic pattern would not be good and may not be as benign as a normal power off stall. Great video, safe flying, and hope the weather's nicer soon. Right, David11, I did answer this in the comments, however, I will answer to you now in the video. Great way of thinking, but you're wrong. And I don't want to sound mean when I say this. Let me explain. The stall speed is not dependent on the shape of the aircraft, but on the shape of the wings. Now, the cowling opening will indeed create more drag, obviously, but it doesn't change the shape of the wing, and because of that, it doesn't change the stall speed, right? If we still have a certain camber, then at certain angles of attacks with certain airspeeds, we're going to stall. Or actually just a certain angle of attacks, which will be different depending on certain airspeeds and the flap configuration. The biggest issue with me was when the cowling opened, was it ripping off the aircraft and potentially hitting another part of the aircraft, and worse still, hitting someone on the ground. So I really didn't want it to come off the airplane. So slowing down, getting full flaps, and going to slow flight. As long as I stay above the stall speed, I'm not going to stall. Perhaps I'm going to need a little bit more power to maintain the slow flight speed, but the stall speed itself will not change. And that's a really important thing to understand, right? So cowling open, cowling doesn't affect the shape of the wing. Okay, so I hope that made it clear, David 11, right? So if you have any more questions on that, feel free to ask. Okay. So that was all the comments from last time's video, which I'm quite impressed. You know, I haven't been posting anything, but I still got quite a lot of comments there. The other thing is, I did make a Euro Trip episode 2 video. I don't know if I mentioned that last time, but please check it out. It was across the border, so flying from Perpignan to Barcelona. Next time I'm going to make a video, I am going to do the one where we go from Barcelona to Palma, so that's quite a fun one. And I'll make it a little bit more travel vloggy. I didn't make many videos while I was at the destinations, which I kind of regret now, because it would have been quite fun to talk about the places I went and how fun they were. And I think if I ever go around to doing something like that again, I will definitely do that. And there are maybe some very far out future plans to do that with some people, including the guys from the video. So really excited about that. Let's see if there are any extra comments from that alternator failure episode 10. So Pacucho, Robes, Demi's World. Nope, there are no more comments from there. So that's it with the feedback. And guys, that's it for this episode. A bit all over the place, but I thought it was, it's a bit more concise. 8 minutes, which I think is pretty good. But let's make the most of it and talk about sound balance, guys. I'm not asking you to donate to the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is over. I just want to say that they successfully managed to reach their goal. Soundbounce did it. So a huge congratulations to them. Well done. I personally ordered 2 headsets, basically ear protection, and I'm really excited to get them. Very, very excited. I really want to test them out and see how they work. The other thing is my affiliate sponsor, so this is Rod Machado, the Rod Machado website. Rod Machado is a really great, really experienced American flight instructor, and I've got a link in the description below. And I'm just going to go on the website just now, and I'm going to look up something that I think you should have. We've spoken of two different products to buy from his website, which I thought were brilliant. And today we're going to look at something else. If you're looking into becoming a private pilot, especially if you live in the US, then I recommend getting the Rod Machado's complete digital private pilot collection. It's expensive, but it gives you everything you need for both learning for private pilot flying and for fun, and a fun way of learning, and that's what it is. However, if you're just wanting a book or an audio book, then I really recommend Rod Machado's Private Pilot Handbook. We have one in the club. It's fantastic. The paperback version or ebook version starts at $50, $49.95, and it's brilliant. Right, I have one of the copies I said in the flight school, and I leaf through it every now and again. And the diagrams are really user friendly. The text is really informative and funny. And Rod really is a natural at teaching things. So I highly recommend you get one of his things. And today, I recommend Rod Machado's Private Pilot Handbook. Okay, so let's finish off the video here. I need to go to get ready, shave, and go to work. I'm Tarek Merryface. I'll see you guys next time, and happy flying.